Caseoh's Grocery Store is one of the fastest growing supermarkets in 2024. But where did this store come from, and why did the fattest person on the planet decide to open up his own grocery store? Well, these questions, along with many others, will be answered in this video. To figure out why Caseoh opened up a grocery store, we must first dive into his personal life. Caseoh used to be a failing streamer scraping for dimes. His low income tied with his extreme high consumption of food was making his life miserable. Caseoh was eating so much food that he realized he needed to start purchasing in bulk. After doing some research, he realized that most of these companies will only sell bulk food products to grocery stores. This sparked a genius idea in Caseoh's big head. He decided then and there that he was going to open up his own grocery store. Opening up a grocery store would not only allow him to order food in bulk, but running a successful grocery store would bring him more income than streaming. Caseoh's first problem was that opening up his own grocery store would not be cheap, and he was dirt poor. Caseoh then went to Waffle House to eat his sorrows away, but on his way to his car, he saw a flyer on the telephone pole. This flyer read, "Local fair looking for new freak show members, paying $300 a day for the weekend plus tips." Caseoh realized at that moment what he had to do. He would end up joining the freak show as the fattest person of all time. During his time at the fair, he was one of the main attractions. Kids could be overheard asking their parents, "What is that thing?" After his eventful weekend at the fair, Caseoh would receive $1,200. Sadly, this was still not enough to open up his store. Caseoh had another idea to easily double his money. He would go to his local casino and put all of his money on black. Nervous as can be, Caseoh put all of his chips on black, watching as the ball rolls round and round. After the longest minute of his life, the ball looks as if it landed on red. But Caseoh was prepared for this. Right as the ball landed on red, he took a tiny step forward, shaking the whole casino and making the ball jump over to black. And just like that, Caseoh has turned his $1,200 into $2,400, just enough money to start up his supermarket. It was April 15th, 2024, where Caseoh decided to open up his small supermarket. The business started off rocky, with Caseoh using $1,000 as a deposit for his lease, $500 for the checkout stand, $400 for 2 display shelves, $200 for a computer and desk, and then a quick stop at Wendy's, which cost him $350. This meant that before buying any actual product to sell in his supermarket, Caseoh was left with only $50. Caseoh then filled the shelves with some pasta, bread, oil, and flour. Caseoh's grocery store was officially open and ready for business. There was one problem. Caseoh has never worked a register in his life, and growing up in Arkansas, which is the 43rd worst state for education in the country, he was going to have a steep hill to climb. As the first customer enters the store and purchases 1 loaf of bread, the business had almost gone under on its first day. The customer had given him a $100 bill for a $4 item. Was Caseoh going to be able to figure out how to give back the change, or would he have to file for bankruptcy right there? Luckily, the cash register still had money in it from its last owner. Crazy enough though, Caseoh still decided to shortchange the dying 98-year-old customer $1, knowing that she wouldn't notice.
I'm stealing $1 from her. I hit her for $1. I hit her for $1. I hit her for $1 and she didn't even know it. She's too old. I just scammed grandma. Hey, how you doing? What your name is? Hey, how you...
Caseoh's grocery store's first day was surprisingly busy, with many of his products getting sold out. One thing that Caseoh did not realize at the time, but would help his business in the long run, was that many of those local shoppers had visited the local fair and recognized him as the fattest man alive. This alone would help keep customers coming back. After a few days of running his business, Caseoh took out a $750 loan to buy more products. Shortly after taking out this loan, Caseoh came to the sudden realization that paying off his loan, rent, and bills every day may become too expensive for him to afford.
How are the bills looking? We got bills? Oh man, the bills are piling up, chat. We got rent to pay. We're good.
The fear of going bankrupt started to consume his mind. Instead of trying to bring in new customers with fair prices and good customer service, he would start to price gouge most of his products and shortchange as many customers as he could to try and drive more revenue. After his 4th day, Caseoh ran a survey which told him that out of 24 total people, 22 of them found his prices too expensive. Somehow, this survey did not convince him that his prices were too expensive. He would continue to scam his customers for the foreseeable future.
Okay. Now that I have that newfound knowledge, let's reevaluate the prices. Actually, no, the prices are staying what they are.
Caseoh was truly running his store into the ground at record speed. On day 10 of running his business to the ground, Caseoh got into beef with his delivery driver for leaving his boxes in the middle of the road, which were then ran over by a man driving a Ferrari.
Yes, ma'am. This is Caseoh, aka the largest supermarket holder in the world right now. I would just have you know that one of your delivery drivers dropped half of my boxes in the road, and it just got ran over by a car. So I want his badge number, his employee number, and I want his job, or I'm taking y'all to court. Do you understand me, ma'am? Thank you so much.
The delivery driver named Marcelo, of course, heard about this and decided to shove all the boxes off of his truck every delivery. Later that day, a customer named Ellen walked in the store and politely rung the checkout bell.
I can't tell. Hey, ma'am. Hey, Ellen. Hey, Ellen. You don't have to ring the bell. I know. There's no way you're complaining about the peanut butter!
The next day, Ellen came back into the store to order some tea. Caseoh then confronts her for showing up right before closing the previous night.
Hello, Ellen. See, you're back again, Ellen. Yo, Ellen, remember last night when you showed up to the store at 9 p.m., which is exactly what time I close at? Yeah, you remember that? You made me work overtime? Yeah, I remember that too, Ellen.
Ellen was very confused, yet apologetic to Caseoh. Unfortunately for Ellen, she handed Caseoh a $20 bill for a $7 item. He then proceeded to shortchange her $3. Ellen noticed and confronted Caseoh. He then told her that it was a self-tip, and if she had a problem with it, she could start shopping somewhere else. Ellen left the store disgusted and upset. On day 12, Ellen returns to the store for the third day in a row.
So hope you have a beautiful... Is that Ellen again? Ellen, you're banned from the store. Ellen, you're not allowed in here.
Have a beautiful day. What's up, Ellen? Hey, Ellen, I thought I banned you from the store. You're not allowed in here. You keep coming in after hours when you're not supposed to be. This is your last grocery trip, okay?
Caseoh is furious seeing her again, and not only does he ban her from the store, but he also gives her back $66 in change with $132 half dollars.
Have a blessed day, Ellen.
Caseoh's frequent temper tantrums with his customers and his overpriced products were ruining his reputation. But as they say, it is always darkest before the dawn. Day 13 was the true turning point of Caseoh's supermarket, a day that would go down as the sole reason that Caseoh is still open to this day. On day 13, a man named Tim would walk into the store before open and ask for a job. Tim said that he was trying to start a new life, and he realized that pairing Caseoh's marketability of being the fattest man on the planet and discounted prices would result in massive profits for the store. Caseoh called Tim a fool and to leave running the business to him. Tim, being upset with how his new boss is treating him, decided to work slow and steady. While checking people out, Tim would ask people how their days were going and started to build relationships with customers. While Tim was being kind to the customers, Caseoh would be running around the store screaming at them for not purchasing his overpriced groceries.
The cheese is too expensive. That is not too expensive. Yo, hey, a message to any customers that are shopping with me. If you're gonna complain about my prices, get out of here.
Caseoh's block became a very famous street for women to avoid because there was a very high chance that Caseoh would sprint out of his store to flirt with them. His famous line of, "Please step on me," worked exactly 0 times and resulted in 25 restraining orders.
Spank me, I've been a bad boy.
Day after day, this continued until Caseoh saw the writing on the wall. His horrible business decisions were going to cost him the business.
Wait, no, we're actually cooked. Wait, we're legitimately gonna go bankrupt. We're gonna lose the business. It's over.
On day 18, Caseoh reluctantly asked Tim if he had any ideas to save the business. Tim reminding him of the original idea of becoming a discount store to attract more customers. Caseoh said that a discount store might be the dumbest idea that he had ever heard in his life, but with the business on the brink of collapse, he had no choice. Caseoh would price every item in the store 5 cents under market value.
Again, like I said, I'm nervous to go this low on the prices, but we gotta do something to save this business.
With Tim at checkout providing amazing customer service and the prices no longer being scams, we started to see the rise of Caseoh's Grocery Store, or so we thought. At the start of day 19, Caseoh's Grocery Store was $2,484 in debt with $1,312 in the bank. Caseoh decides that he's not taking on enough debt and decides to take out a $750 loan. He then uses this money for display shelves and a store expansion, which was essentially pointless because he couldn't even fill up his shelves and he definitely did not need more space. These purchases left him with $360 in the bank while being in debt over $3,300. Would this be the end of Caseoh's Grocery Store? On day 20, Caseoh was starting to regret his decision of taking out another loan for no reason. Realizing that he needed to cut down on expenses, he walks up to Tim and informs him that his pay will be cut from $80 to a measly $10.
Tim, look, money's low right now. I'm gonna have to cut your pay from $80 a day to $10 a day. Listen, and I'm cutting your insurance. So that's just life, Tim. That's just how we're gonna have to operate from now on. Let's go in here, let's buy some stuff.
Now, what was Caseoh doing to save his business? Well, when he wasn't outside begging pedestrians to shop at his store.
Shop at Caseoh's, please. Sir, listen, we're broke. I ain't got enough money to feed my family. My co-workers broke. They ain't got enough money to feed their family. It would mean the world to me, sir. If you came in and shopped at Caseoh's today, I'm literally begging you. Just drop in and just buy one thing, please.
He was shortchanging everyone that he could.
I gotta do what I gotta do. She ain't gonna miss that 1 cent. It means more to us than it does to her. How did she see the...
He was even screaming at customers who came in 5 minutes before closing.
Hey ma'am, sorry I couldn't buy the flour. You came in at 9 p.m. after hours. Step on me. What?
After they tallied up the income for the day, Caseoh almost had a panic attack and left the business right there.
We only made $807. This is the end. This is where Caseoh's Grocery collapses. Chat, we are in debt. We got bills. We got rent. We got product. We got employee wages.
Day 20 was truly one of the lowest moments in Caseoh's grocery store. On day 22, Tim had formulated a plan to save the business. Step 1 was to purchase more items at a time to save on shipping costs. Step 2 was to only purchase products that they were running low on. And step 3 was to pay off their loans as soon as possible. Caseoh agreed to this business plan. The only problem was that Caseoh instantly hired another employee named Jim. Jim would restock the shelves and then stand outside 90% of the day while making $10 more than Tim.
Good job, Jim. You just threw a cardboard box away. While Tim is in there actually earning his paycheck, you're out here taking your 15-minute break at 9 p.m. I don't understand why I even hired you, chat. Y'all sold me.
The next day, Caseoh informed Tim that he must start showing up to work at 3 a.m. instead of 4 a.m. All the while, Caseoh shows up right as the store opens up every day at 8 a.m.
You're gonna start tightening up a little bit. I know I don't get you no breaks anyway, but look, instead of getting here at 4 a.m., you gotta get here at 3 a.m. Instead of leaving at 9, you have to stay till about midnight every night, alright?
On day 24, things were starting to look up for the business, as it was the first day of making over $1,000 in a single shift. Over the next few days, we really started to see Tim's plan working to bring the business out of debt. But you see, there was one slight problem. On day 27, instead of paying off the daily loan payments, Caseoh decided to pay off the remaining amount that hasn't been sent to him.
Let's go! Woo! We are out of debt for the first time, and I don't know how long. Now, that being said, should I take another $2,000 and another $750 loan? Chat, do you know how relieved I feel right now that we are out of debt? Like, do you understand how relieved I am?
This meant that he was running late on his existing loan payments and was incurring added interest.
Payments, chat? Why are you saying payments? There's not gonna be any more payments. We can't even afford a candy bar right now.
Thankfully, it was April 24th, also known as Tim's birthday. At this point, Tim had become friends with countless customers, many of whom shopped at Caseoh's because of Tim. This meant that on Tim's birthday, you knew that a lot of people were going to come to the store to see him. Thanks to the influx of customers, they made just enough money to get completely out of debt.
We are out of debt. We are out of debt. Everything is on zero.
After becoming debt-free, things started to look up again for Caseoh's. The prices were finally fair, the store had brought a wide variety of products, and Tim's fan base was starting to grow. Of course, Caseoh was still mistreating his employees and screaming at the customers, but this was never going to change. All in all, the store was seeing large growth, and with the store growing, Caseoh would need to hire a new checker. On day 32, Caseoh hired a man named Slim.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board to Caseoh Grocery staff. Slim.
On Slim's first day, Caseoh told him that if he checks out faster than Tim, he would be giving him a financial bonus. With this incentive, Slim became instantly faster than Tim, and Caseoh even threatened to fire Tim on Slim's first day.
Hurry up, Tim! Look how slow you going! Yo, Slim, it's about to be just you up in here, cause I'm about to fire this dude!
This was also the first day that Caseoh's had over $2,000 in the bank while being completely debt-free. The new debt-free Caseoh's was on its way to success, until the very next day when Caseoh took out a $5,000 loan. Thankfully though, Caseoh had learned from his previous mistakes and actually made good use of this loan, while paying it off only 3 days later on day 36. Day 37 was started off with Caseoh threatening to fight the FedEx driver.
Chat, me and this FedEx driver are about to throw hands. Do you understand?
With the frustration from the FedEx driver building up, Caseoh decided to take his anger out on Slim and Tim.
Y'all slow as Christmas in here!
To cap off an eventful day, Caseoh harassed and screamed at Ellen on her way home.
How many times do I have to tell you that you are not welcome in Caseoh's grocery store? You keep coming every single day, even though you have been banned from the store about 30 times. I'm tired of you disrespecting me. We're gonna have problems if you come in. Run her over! Run her over! Kill her! Oh!
After Ellen was hit by a taxi, Caseoh hoped that he had seen the last of her. Thankfully, Ellen wasn't hurt too bad, and after a couple of days in the hospital, she was back and ready to shop at Caseoh's. Day 38 brought us the hiring of one of Caseoh's favorite employees, Quan.
Here's the rules. You don't get your government-regulated 15-minute breaks. You can't use the bathroom. If you gotta go, you gotta do it in your drawers. You can't smoke cigarettes. If I catch you smoking a cigarette out here, it's gonna be problems. And you can't associate with any of the customers. You just gotta work like a robot, alright? So...
Quan quickly moved up the ranks at Caseoh's, becoming the warehouse supervisor after only working 4 days there.
You know what? We're making changes around here. Yo, Quan, I know you just started working here, but Jim takes absolutely no pride in this place, so guess what? You're promoted to warehouse manager, and you're under Quan from now on. He manages the warehouse. You do what Quan says. You understand me, Jim?
Most people believe that Quan received this job is not because of his ability, but because of Caseoh's hatred for Jim. After a short 50 days, Tim started to become so famous that he developed a sizable following on Twitter. One of his tweets depicted a normal day at work that reads, "Today my boss legitimately farted on a customer and asked them to do explicit and inappropriate things. I was checking her out and she dropped what she was doing and walked out." Tim started to become so famous that customers would just fly into town to see him. Tim's counterpart Slim was found out to be dating Ellen. This infuriated Caseoh.
Yo, Slim, you're dating Ellen, huh? And you didn't tell me? You're dating Ellen and you didn't tell me. All right, bet. Guess what? You're getting paid $80 a day right now. Guess what? It's gonna be $40 a day from this point forward. And don't even think about making a union.
People started to review Caseoh's online, with many of the customers pointing out the harsh work environment. Most of the reviews praised Tim's great work and dedication while working under a tyrant. After seeing many of these negative online reviews, Caseoh would send out a survey to his customers asking them to review the store out of 5 stars. The feedback was not as he expected, with over 50% of them giving the store a 1-star review. After multiple days of getting reviewed bomb, Caseoh decided to purchase fake reviews for his Google review page. Google quickly noticed this and took down his page. Thankfully though, there's still a Yelp review page up. On day 57, we see the hiring of Caseoh's newest storage employee, Quan. The very next day, Caseoh overheard Tim and Slim complaining about how Caseoh never runs the checkout stand anymore and couldn't do their jobs. To prove a point, Caseoh closed both of their stands and did all the checkouts himself. This made the customers very upset because they would shop there just to talk to Slim and Tim.
I am gonna handle every checkout until noon. Once noon opens up, I'm gonna open the other 2 registers because I want you 2 losers to realize who runs this, okay? Y'all think y'all done got an ego, especially you, Tim. You done got an ego like, oh man, I'm the best cashier in town. I'm gonna show y'all that I can do both of y'all's jobs by myself.
Caseoh was so slow at checking out that many of the customers started to play Monopoly on the shop floor. After about 2 Monopoly games, Caseoh would be ready to start checking out your groceries. After Caseoh's slow and pathetic performance, customers refused to use his checkout stand the very next day.
Register 3 is open! Oh nah. Hey guys, register 3. Am I alive? Hey, register 3 is open!
Checking out customers really gave Caseoh a reality check, and even he admitted that he needed his employees. Is he finally going to start treating his employees with more respect? Of course not. He just started screaming at Slim from across the store and threatened Tim after hours.
Yo, Tim, the next time you try to show me up in front of a store full of customers, you gonna meet me outside and we gonna throw hands, and you ain't getting the Christmas bonus, and you ain't invited to the pizza party, and I'm taking you to HR. You understand me? So if you ever dare to try to show me up in front of the whole store again, we got problems. You understand me?
On day 62, Caseoh came to the shocking realization that Ellen was pregnant with Slim's baby. Caseoh confronted Slim by saying this.
Now, as for you, Slim, I heard that you was dating Ellen. I heard y'all got a kid on the way. Well, guess what? Whenever your baby shows up, you ain't taking 2 weeks off. You ain't getting no time off. Matter of fact, if your kid is born during your shift, you're not even allowed to take off to go to the birthing process. You understand me? You will not get any paternity leave, any nothing. You understand me? And I'm cutting your vacation hours in half from 1 day a year to half a day a year. Okay, you understand me, Slim?
After many days of Caseoh's employees complaining about their phones not having any service in the store, Caseoh informs them that he set up a phone jammer in the store.
I saw Helen and Kellen come in here about 5 times today. What's up with that? You maxed up, put a cell phone jammer in here, you can't text her no more during work? You was on the phone all day, what you want me to do about it? Yeah, you wonder why you ain't got no signal no more, because I put a cell phone jammer in here. Ain't nobody making no calls, ain't nobody making no texts, ain't nothing happen, because I done seen you on your phone too many times.
Even with this lack of service, Caseoh's grocery store managed to bring in over $4,000 in a day. But only a few days later, the income took a steep decline to $3,000 a day. This steep incline made Caseoh very suspicious of his employees. The store appeared to be just as busy, but where was this money going? 2 theories started to develop in Caseoh's mind. The first one being that Tim and Slim were stealing from the tills, and the second one being that Tim and Slim were giving out discounts. Anyhow, on day 64, we saw something that we thought would never happen: the unbanning of Ellen.
You're unbanned. You're welcome back in the store. She's unbanned from the store. She just spent $200.
Her order of $200 also brought the store's bank account to be over $10K for the first time ever. The next few days were about as bad as could get for Tim. Tim's older brother named Kim started shopping at Caseoh's. Kim considers his own brother Tim a failure, working for $6.15 an hour, while Kim makes over $350 as a lawyer who owns a law firm. Not only does Tim have to see his more successful brother every day, but he has been getting cooked by Caseoh for being too slow.
Oh, I see why they don't go to Tim, because you're slow as Christmas, dear. Tim, you're slow as Christmas. A turtle could travel across the country before you check one person out. You are the slowest cashier I've ever seen in my life. And if I was a customer here, I would jump across the counter, push you out of the way, and check out myself. Because this is a disgrace to the supermarket industry. Do you understand? Can you speed up?
On top of all of this, a customer on Yelp revealed that Caseoh's earlier suspicions of Tim giving out discounts was correct. After seeing these Yelp reviews, Caseoh confronts Tim.
You know, you're over here giving 50% off discounts. Under the table, you can't be doing that. So what's going to happen here is for the next 3 months, you're not going to get paid. And also, if you try to quit, I'll just handcuff you to the cash register.
To be honest, this seems very fishy. Why would someone who receives under-the-table discounts post that on Yelp? I believe that Caseoh wrote these reviews himself to frame Tim. It also appears that Quan has been set up by another one of these fake reviews.
I am hearing that you're handing out free large sushi trays to some of the customers. Do you understand how much those things cost, Quan? Do you understand the amount of money that's making me lose? If I ever catch you doing it again, you're no longer supervisor over the storage room.
A few days have passed with things started to calm down at Caseoh's, until he chases a female out of the store accusing her of stealing from him.
That was only 166. Ma'am, did you take something? That was a lot for $166. Come off them groceries. Give me that bag. You better give me that bag. Hey, come off them groceries. You stole something. I know you did. Walking through like you tough. Do something in. Swing on.
Day 78, we see the hiring of a new checkout person named Sean. Sean did not make it even one shift without Caseoh threatening to fire him.
This guy is a waste of money. Why is he so slow? This is his first day. Usually when you first get on the job, you actually want to speed up. Yo, speed up, Sean. This is your first day. Do some work.
Just 2 days later, and Caseoh decides to hire another stalker. His name is Larry. A few days after the hiring of Larry, Caseoh confronts Slim about giving Ellen 50% discounts.
Yo, Slim, if I catch you giving a 50% discount to Ellen, I'm gonna sit here and watch you. And I heard that Kellen's coming through for them discounts too. Oh my goodness, she spent $116.
After 87 long days, Caseoh's grocery store has amassed over $20,000 in its bank account, 7 full-time employees, and 1 fat owner who has fulfilled his dream of purchasing his personal food in bulk. Caseoh has his employees to thank for this great success, especially Tim. Caseoh may have built a successful grocery store, but this is not his true passion. The grocery store was merely a vehicle for him to purchase an extremely large amount of food to eat. His true passion lies somewhere in the desert, very far away from this grocery store. Caseoh walked up to Tim to inform him that he's being promoted to the CEO of Caseoh's grocery store. Caseoh would of course keep 100% of the ownership in the company and only increase Tim's pay to $100 a day. Mr. CEO Tim will now be running the show at Caseoh's, with the big man stepping in from time to time to see how it's going. But as I alluded to earlier, Caseoh had to leave and pursue one of his biggest dreams of opening up a gas station.
Thank you for choosing the Krusty Krab. Here's your change.
Mr. Squidward!
Why?
What's with all this change nonsense?